1987 is het jaar waarin de Simpsons voor het eerst op tv komen. Dirty Dancing is de hit in de cinema, Faith van George Michael is de hit op de radio. En in dat jaar beginnen Carl Hyde en Rick Smith een nieuwe groep, Underworld. Er zijn een paar artiesten die in hun genre belangrijker zijn dan legendarisch. En Underworld is zo'n band. Ze hebben minstens 4 classic albums. En in The Greatest Switch staat Underworld met maar liefst 6 nummers. Res, Dark and Long Dark Train, Cowgirl, King of Snake, 2 Months Off en het nummer dat bekend werd dankzij de film Trainspotting, Born Slippy. Dat nummer wordt binnenkort 30 jaar jong, maar Carl en Rick van Underworld blijven gaan. Een heel jaar lang hebben ze elke week minstens 1 nieuw nummer uitgebracht. En die staan nu samen op 1 nieuw album, Drift. Ik mocht op bezoek in de studio van Underworld, ergens op het Engelse platteland.
Sitting here with Underworld's Carl and Rick. We're here ready to talk about Drift, but at the same time, we could also talk about the next 12 months because the Drift project goes on. It's not over yet. Why not? Why did you decide to keep it going?
Well, it's too good, and it's our life's work now. This way of working has opened up so many possibilities and released our potential, brought us closer together, and it's more fun than doing it the other way.
You have done more new work in the last year than you have over the last 15 years. Does it mean that after all these years of working together, you get to know each other better too?
Yeah. Get to know each other different.
What have you learned from Carl that you didn't know in the past?
Don't tell them.
Tell the other thing.
That's quite a deep question.
Yeah,
right? You know, for my part, I have a genuine, simple desire, and I'm comfortable with spending time with Carl, more time. And that wasn't true for 38 years. You know, it was a different relationship. So that's changed, and I don't know why.
We like working together. We like solving problems together. We like supporting each other. We like listening to each other. You know, giving each other problems because they're good problems.
Yeah.
It's a place that I want to be, is working with Rick.
Forever.
Well, I don't know how long we've got.
It's looking that way now, isn't it?
You know, yeah. However long we've got.
It's obviously almost an understatement to say that Underworld is more productive than ever. Where does that restless need to create come from? Is it in we like working together?
Look, I just really like working with Rick, and the more I work with Rick, the more I want to work, and the more I make, and the more Rick likes that, and the more we make.
I think you're talking about the connection between us again there, and the fact is that this is me talking about you. Is that you have to work, you have to make work, and I have an equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a hobby, you know, like, you know,
Nope.
knitting or
Yeah.
crochet. You know, I love electronic music. I love sound. I love playing with sound and technology. I want to express myself.
Yeah.
I think it's a lifetime doing that now. It's not going to stop now.
If I would ask that question to your family or let's say a therapist, would they give the same answer to my question?
No.
It depends how much you were paying them. This is what we do, isn't it? You know, we make stuff, and we've made stuff since we were kids, whether it was just plonking on a piano, or that's part of what we do.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate to be able to be doing it like this.
There's also a very practical need these days, isn't there? Being a band and being a musician isn't what it was 25 years ago. So we need to be busy, yeah?
You need to be busy.
I need to eat, I need a roof over it. This place doesn't pay for itself. Yeah.
I thought you paid for it.
Well,
Damn.
I'm afraid the accounts aren't going to
Reflect
You're
that.
going to have a bit of a shock there.
Okay.
For, if I may say so, a genre-defining artist like Underworld, it is rather rare to put out a lot of new music. Some artists would play safe, mainly use the heritage and the songs from before. Why not play safe, Carl?
Sounds awful. Just if you're going to do it, for me, I would just get another job. Just stop. Why would you do that? As Rick said, there's so much to do. You know, Rick's interested. He's foraging. He's exploring, and that's part of what we do, isn't it? Who wants to live in the past?
How do you choose the playlist for the new live show when you have released so much new music recently?
That's an interesting question. We're going to come on stage and we're going to go off, and in between, what's the journey that we're going to go on? What's the journey that we're going to want to take the audience on? And also half a mind of how are we going to feel, yeah? So how do we do this so that we get ourselves settled and start right and move on right and move through to what? Simply so that everybody has a bloody great time is all, really. It's not that complicated.
And the gift from the Drift project is that we've released more material than we have over several albums, and so therefore it's given us a lot more material to choose from for the live shows. So the live shows are changing in ways that they never used to. We can change the set every night now, and that hasn't been the case for a really long time. Sometimes they don't work as well as other nights, but we've kind of almost never been able to say that. Certainly not for the last 20 years. That, last night's went a bit better than tonight's because that track wasn't such a good idea. Well, that's exciting.
You've been working with guests. Will they be with you on stage, or will it be the two of you?
For these shows coming up, yeah, just the two of us. I mean, we have our crew, you know, the lights, the video, the sound, you know, the extraordinary, talented people make us look really good.
The interesting thing Rick is saying there, that the shows aren't always considered to be more than the two of us, but all of that stuff is live, you know, the sound and the lights and the screens. People are forever thinking it's programmed, and it's not. These are people that we've been working with for a long time, who read the music differently every night, or are in the moment every night, and have an effect on us. You know if it's a different person on lights, you just know it. And it'll look great, but you know that they're reading the music differently.
It's just really boring, man, to just press play, like on a piece of tape, and everything's locked up and linked, and it's all going to go off, and every night we know exactly how it's going to go and what's going to happen. That sounds hideous.
It'd be kind of pointless turning up, really, wouldn't it? You know, for us, may as well send out some other people.
Robots.
Well, then we could be back in the studio making more music if we were going to do that. No, we have to keep it in the moment.
Where is it coming from, the influence that makes you make the music that you make?
No, but you can't say that like
I just did. No, I just copy down what people say. I do. That's true. I'll go to a cafe and I write down what people say and what people do. And that fills books of extraordinary words. I mean, really, people say astonishing things that are much better than I would sit there trying to articulate. But I'm attracted to things, and in being attracted to certain things, that follows a mood. I might be happy today, so I'm attracted to happy things. Or so the things that are collected are to do with a state of mind. It's about being curatorial. Occasionally, something that has come out of my head will appear, but it's about being a curator, which I find more interesting.
I'm glad you said that bit at the end, because I was just feeling like I really want to disagree here. You know, it's like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
I do one or two things that aren't. You know. You
were describing the first part of your process for a long time there, and the first part, absolutely a collector. But when he turns up, he starts to sing or riff. That's not the same then. There's no people there then. That's his interpretation of what he's feeling, what he's driven by. You know, in the moment, I've seen Carl do remarkable things.
It sounds like you're in great shape and got a great future ahead of you.
Yeah. So you could ask my wife, you know, how I am, and she'd say, he's happy.
Great.
Yeah? He's happy and excited. And yes, exhausted. Sometimes, but fundamentally, this is an interesting basis that we've spent 38 years nearly 40 years building together.
Yeah.
So this was, before we started this, whatever it was, 52 weeks or whatever, it was about working co-production. Is there anything we can do to spend more fulfilling time together instead of locked away behind doors, just tiny dark holes, caves, techno caves, going like this for 3 years, and then getting to the end of it and going, yeah, it's all right.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.